Hey there, just thought I'd say a few more thoughts on our 4Cs here. Being around the car for a little bit, well, a couple years now, almost, and knowing the car quite a bit. A lot of people may have seen some reviews on the 4Cs, and there's a lot of things that people can complain about, but getting to know the car. Those are the things you love about the car. It gives it a lot of character. This car has some attitude. It's a little bit, people laugh at make fun of the Alpine stereo and some of the controls in the car. And these are the things that make this car, it gives it a lot of enjoyment in a way that it really contrasts strongly to the intent and purpose of this car. Some cars, you're not sure whether they're a performance car or a luxury car, and some cars do it very well and give you both. But all those things do is add weight, and if you are really into your sports cars and really into driving, weight always takes away from that fun. Everything's heavier, everything's slower. So momentum being quick in a car is all about conserving, maintaining momentum. If you're truly a fast driver, you can be fast, you can just step on the gas and go, and some cars do that very well. But to a sport car, it's about the driver making that difference, and weight slows everything down, and the less weight, the quicker. That's why this car is 237 horsepower, and it absolutely rips. This car, the turn in, the braking is more physical than any car that's really on the market. Any production car that's relatively affordable, it's the most physical. And what I mean by physical is that it requires the most coordination and skill from a driver, whether it be you're good with your feet and knowing how to get on and off the gas, onto the brake, the quickness of that, the precision of your movements, the hand-eye coordination, getting a turn, turning into a corner. You turn too much, it slows the car down. You don't turn enough, you're going to have to correct somewhere in the turn. That slows your car down. So, and having the feel for the car is where this car really rewards that. And that's what it's really all about, this car. It's not about the radio, it's not about the convenience features, it's not about how easy and hard. It's about learning how to drive, and learning how to drive well, like really well. So if you really like that, if you really enjoy that, this car is anything more money, yeah, it gets a little silly. This car is under $100,000. It's a great toy. It's a great toy for drivers. Really something to be enjoyed. So don't let these negative reviewers or people who like to complain about the car, or people in general got negativity about the car. This car is the engineers and the designers of this car, they know it's got an Alpine stereo in the car, but it's for those people who think that's they don't care. And it's like that. Do you really care about that when you buy a car like this? When you can drive this way, when you're this good of a driver and you know you're that good, do you really care what people think of the radio in the car that you can't even hear? So this is what this car is about. How the steering feel. People who are worried about the radio in this car, they they don't get it, they don't have the skills, they never will. They'll never understand how a car can be driven, how fast a car can be driven. And you either have those skills and can exploit it in this car, or you understand that there are people who do have those skills and that these skills maybe you not have, but you have an appreciation for it. And this is the kind of car that this is. It doesn't have a manual transmission, so a lot of people think that is something that detracts away from that idea. But it's such a quick car, and the dual drive clutch transmission is so efficient, and it puts the power down so well. A manual transmission vehicle, you know, it's a second or two slower everywhere. So there's no comparison in how someone can drive this car well and keep that momentum and carry as much speed through a turn as possible. This is where this car truly excels at, and it's really enjoyable to drive. It can be a daily driver. There's nothing wrong with this car being a daily driver. You have to have a love for the car and learn how to, you know, get in and out of the car, learn to drive it. You learn those techniques, and if you're good at that, it's easy. If you're not, if you're clumsy, if you're not coordinated, then yeah, it's a little more of a challenge. But if you have coordination and you think about your movements and you're that type of person, then it's really, really enjoyable. So those are some of the some thoughts on the 4C, and hopefully you're someone who's on the fence and not quite sure and worried about maybe what other people think. This is for you.